was thinking that we should make some bowls this week. I've been going through a little bit of a bowl phase lately, and I want to show you what I've been doing. So I've been trying ways to get more protein, but it's not like I just want to eat this big bowl of chicken every day, you know. So what I've been doing is I've been stacking my proteins, which is really, really easy to do in a bowl. You get more protein, you get more flavor. This autumn bowl I'm about to make for dinner, it's got so much flavor, it's so good. And actually what I was thinking of making later this week is this Mediterranean bowl that I've been really craving. And I also want to show you this leftovers bowl that I've been making at the end of almost every single week. It's just this really easy way for me to use up all the leftover ingredients in my fridge, but I'll show you those when I make them. Right now, dinner tonight, I like to think of this as like this classic American autumn bowl. It's got sweet potato, chicken, apple, kale, Brussels sprouts, crispy roasted Brussels sprouts. Let me just show you. Hopefully we can get all of this to fit in this one bowl. I'm preheating this oven to 425. I'm gonna wash some rice and get it on the stove. And then I'm gonna wash and chop some things and get them in the oven. Enough stuck. I'm adding my sweet potato pieces to a baking tray with some oil, some oregano. I want to keep this very simple so it goes with a lot of different things so I can make various bowls with it this week. So just oregano, salt and pepper, give it a little toss, and I'll roast that for about 30 minutes. Then got some shaved Brussels sprouts, which I'm going to roast on another tray. Also going to keep this one very simple because there's going to be a lot of different flavors in this bowl. Oil, pepper and salt, that is it. A little toss, put it aside. And the last thing I'm going to roast for this is some chicken. I'm having some chicken breasts so they cook faster because they are quite big. Adding some oil, balsamic vinegar. I love roasting chicken in this. It gives it so much flavor, but it's still simple enough that it can go with a lot of different things. I'm doing thyme and oregano for this. Thyme with roasted chicken is incredible. I love it. And salt and pepper, of course. Just get it all coated in the balsamic vinegar. The chicken and the Brussels sprouts are only like 20 minutes in the oven, so I'm just gonna hold these off for a few minutes because I only really just put the sweet potatoes in the oven. So just gonna give those a little bit of a head start, the sweet potatoes, and gonna put these aside. And while I wait to put those in the oven, I'm just gonna chop and prepare these very quickly. I washed this kale already, so I'm just chopping it up. And I like to take the middle part out. I don't really like that part. Chop up the rest. Adding it to a bowl with some oil and some salt. And I'm just mixing the kale really well with the oil. It breaks down the kale a bit and makes it a bit softer. Gives it a much better texture. I haven't had kale in so long, but I believe it's common in autumn, so I decided to get some. Then making the most basic balsamic vinaigrette. This will be like the dressing: a tablespoon of olive oil, half a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, lemon juice from about half a small lemon, and salt and pepper. Very simple, but it really adds some nice flavor to the bowl. Also slicing up this pink lady apple. A red apple or a gala apple will also work, but I love the tangy flavor of the pink lady apple, and the color looks very good in the bowl. And last thing, just roughly chopping up some almonds. Need a bit of a crunch in the bowl. The apples will also add a bit of a crunch, but I like the almonds, just give it that crunch it needs. Okay, and I have given the sweet potatoes a few minutes head start, so I'm just adding the other things to the oven, the Brussels sprouts and the chicken. This will cook for about 20 minutes. Okay, so that's in the oven. Alright, so while that stuff's in the oven, I want to tell you about these gem bites that I've really been enjoying. They're also today's sponsor. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I like to get as much of my nutrition as possible from the food that I eat. But I'm really busy, as we all are, and it's not like I'm eating this perfectly balanced diet every single day. Most days I'm not. And you know, supplements can be helpful for filling in the gaps, but it's just not the same as getting nutrients from real food. Real food has phytonutrients and antioxidants that you just can't get from synthetic supplements, synthetic pills and gummies that are often like loaded with fillers and all sorts of other things. Gem is the first real food multivitamin. It's citrus ginger flavor. It's really good. It kind of tastes like a lemon bar to me. And what I really like about it is that it's got prebiotics, probiotics. It's actually got loads of stuff in it. It's got pumpkin seeds, turmeric, stone fruits and dates that support gut, brain and skin health. It's also gluten and dairy free, which is perfect for me, as well as soy free and vegan. And right now Gem is offering 50% off your first month. All you have to do is go to dailygem.com/Liezl and use my code Liezl at checkout. And you can get some Gem bites. Rice is ready. The oven is already. Looks perfect. Super crispy. Release. Whoopsie. Crispy Brussels sprouts. That almost landed on the floor, but did not. Saved them just in time. And sweet potatoes. Roasted sweet potatoes. Delicious. Chicken. Squeeze that in over there. Let's put this bowl together. Getting some of this rice in there, a big scoop. I wanted to make wild rice for this, it just feels very autumny. Brown rice also works, I've had it with brown rice too, it's very good. Some of the roasted sweet potato, which is quite crispy, if I will say so, quite crispy. The crispy roasted Brussels sprouts, which are also crispy. That's why they're called crispy roasted Brussels sprouts. And that's the base ingredients, I guess you could call them. For the toppings, after the kale, some of the balsamic roasted chicken, which I like to slice up and then add in, roasted to perfection. Some of the pink lady apples, add some flavor, some tangy flavor. The balsamic vinaigrette, definitely get some of that on the rice. Feta cheese. I'm using a dairy-free one, but real Greek feta has more protein, just by the way. And a handful of those almonds for the crunch. Oh yes, salt and pepper. That is a bit of an ambitious bowl, just in terms of how much stuff I managed to cram into here. This is a classic autumn bowl. I mean, how can this not be? It's got all the autumn things in it. Oh, that is delicious. Crispy sweet potato. I actually just want to put away the leftovers quickly because I can literally make like a few more bowls with all these things. Just gonna put that away really quickly. Brussels sprouts away. Sweet potatoes. I'll probably use these in my leftovers bowl. I think I have an idea of what I might make. We'll see what I have at the end of the week. And I cooked this chicken so simple. But so simple, you can do so many things with it. Juice on the top there. Got some good leftovers for the week. So I haven't made a bowl the last few days, it's been a busy week, but I woke up this morning and I was craving, excuse me with this camera, trying to set that up. I was craving this Mediterranean bowl that I was telling you about a few days ago. I've been wanting to make this. I've made it quite a few times in the past in different variations. It makes a great lunch or dinner. Today I'm gonna make it for lunch. And I like to imagine for this one that if I went on holiday to the Mediterranean and I went to a restaurant there, I might get something like this. Might be wrong, but in my imagination that makes sense. And I think this is a little bit different to what you'd get for like a summer Mediterranean bowl. Definitely suits like the autumn and winter months, the colder months. I mean, you could have it any time of the year, it's pretty versatile, but for me, it just makes sense. So I'm gonna be roasting a few things. I'm going to roast these tomatoes that I've got. I've got these amazing little tomatoes, I've got a whole lot of them. So I'll roast those. I wanna make my vinegar roasted tomatoes. I haven't made them in ages. I love them. I'm also gonna roast some zucchinis, some chickpeas. I'm gonna preheat my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about 200 degrees Celsius. And I am just going to wash all of these things. I just wanna slice up these baby tomatoes really quickly. I like to slice them all in half for optimal roasting. It's much better than when you leave them whole. And got 2 baking trays here, one for the tomatoes, one for the chickpeas. For the chickpeas, I'm adding a tablespoon of oil, half a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, half a teaspoon of mustard powder, and a little pinch of cayenne pepper, salt and pepper. For the tomatoes, I'm adding, actually I like to face all of them upwards just to get the benefit of the roastiness on each tomato. You will see. Back to the oil, about a tablespoon of oil. Then I like to slowly drizzle some balsamic vinegar so that it gets on the tops of all the tomatoes. I usually end up using like 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar for all of these tomatoes, and some salt and pepper, and that's ready to go in the oven. And I just want to get one more thing in the oven with these. It doesn't take as long to cook as the tomatoes and the chickpeas. Slicing up these zucchinis quickly, laying them all in a baking dish, drizzling some oil, some salt and pepper. And you know what? I decided to add some basil and oregano. You can't go wrong with basil and oregano. It always tastes good in my opinion. And get that in the oven too. I just rinsed some quinoa. This will cook in 15 minutes, and then the oven things will be ready at the same time, so good timing all around. And everything is ready. The vinegar roasted tomatoes, perfect. Perfection in a tomato. The roasted zucchini looks very good. The chickpeas are slightly overcooked. I should have tossed them halfway, I forgot. The quinoa is steaming hot, serving that out first, a nice big scoop. Then got some baby spinach here, added in at the bottom just to add something fresh. Some of the roasted zucchini, and I got a few more things to add too. Some hummus. I got this roasted pepper hummus, some of the vinegar roasted tomatoes, get that in there, adds a lot of flavor. Some of the roasted chickpeas, a bit of a crunch. A few olives. I love a few olives with this. I like Kalamata olives. They have the best flavor in my opinion, nice and tangy. Some feta cheese crumbled on top. And oh yeah, last thing, a bit of olive oil. Get that over the quinoa, and some salt and pepper. I was expecting something good. I don't know if I was expecting something this good. Besides the slightly charred roasted chickpeas, which were definitely still salvageable. I'm actually gonna go sit outside. It's such a nice day. I'm gonna go sit under the nectarine tree that I got in my garden. I just got a few minutes, trying to just make the most of when there's a nice day and it's not so scorching hot or it's not so cold. Just go sit outside for a few minutes. Good chickpea. Fluffy quinoa. Just trying to decide what I'm going to make tonight. I want to make my leftovers bowl. I usually make my leftovers bowl on a Thursday night. Just use up all my leftovers from the week. So let's see. Got rice and sweet potatoes from the autumn bowl that I made earlier this week. The tomatoes from my Mediterranean bowl that I made. Spinach from that too. I've got these random leftover sausages that I might use. Just these random sausages I cooked this week. You know what? I got eggs. I got an avocado. I got a bit of cilantro. I think we can make a good bowl here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is just heat everything up. And I mean, you could just heat everything up in the microwave, but you're not gonna get the best texture. So this is what I like to do. I just get like 2 pans going. And because I want to make a bowl, I don't want everything to just mix together. I still want to be able to put it like in its place in the bowl. So this is how I do it. Some oil in there, and then heating them up would be a good idea. Heat them up. Now this is all going to go very quick. Heat up these pans, and I got so much baby spinach to use before the end of this week, so I'm just going to wilt a whole bunch of it. If you've got so much leftover spinach, the easiest way to eat it is to just wilt it. It goes so small. So that's what I'm gonna do. Wilt a whole lot of this baby spinach. Then in this pan, I'm going to heat up some sweet potato. Just a really easy way to heat it up too. And it helps it to go a little bit like crispy again, which it won't in the microwave, so that's nice. And just gonna toss it around, heat it up. See, this is wilting already. This is almost done. So while I get those sweet potatoes another minute or so in the pan, what I am going to heat up in the microwave is quinoa and tomatoes, adding some to a bowl, and I could probably just use the one bowl for both of them, but anyway, I already started. And they don't take that long in the microwave, like 1 or 2 minutes. So now these are basically done, so I'm gonna cook some other things in these pans. Eggs, and I'm going to heat up some sausage. I'm just serving the already heated things into my bowl to make some space on the stove. The quinoa, nice and hot. The sweet potatoes, slightly charred, but it's okay. And the wilted spinach. And I'm cracking 2 eggs in this pan in the front with a bit of salt and pepper. And the leftover sausage, getting that in the pan in the back. It's actually a spicy Beyond Meat sausage. I find it much easier to heat up when it's sliced, and that way it gets nice and crispy again. That goes right in the bowl when it's done. And then what I like is some olive oil over everything, especially the quinoa. And the eggs are ready too. Get that on top with a bit of avocado on the side, sliced up. A few of those tomatoes on top there. And some of that cilantro. It's just a garnish, just a little extra something, and some salt and pepper. I like to finish everything off with salt and pepper in case you haven't noticed. But this turned out really well. Leftover bowls, they can be hit or miss. You never really know. But this one turned out good. So I think my leftovers bowl this week is a success. Can't wait to eat this. I'm gonna eat this right now. Dig in. But I just wanted to say I'm gonna put all the ingredients of all the bowls that I made this week, the autumn one, the Mediterranean one, and this leftovers one. I'm gonna put them on my blog for you in case you wanna make them. And oh, if you want even more like autumn inspired recipes, my most recent video, I did a 1-hour meal prep on autumn recipes, high protein recipes. I'll link that below. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Whoa, that's my dog. She wants to go outside. I better go. I will see you in the next video.